It was good last week.
Man, who knows, man? It should be this sometimes. I know Microsoft had an update. I know my computer had an update. So sometimes when I do updates, it be messing up shit and I'll just be looking crazy like I just was with y'all. But we here. Sorry for yesterday's technical difficulties. Don't listen to Nick on Twitter. He's trying to troll me. Don't listen to him. He's trying to troll
I
me.
didn't say nothing.
But
I didn't say nothing.
We are here for real for episode 2. A little bit change to the schedule. We had us a Olympic game today, and we can jump right. Oh, we are live on Twitter and YouTube. I was trying to pull that shit up while we was doing our thing. I don't even remember what the final score today was, but Nick, I'm gonna let you kick this off while I find our other stuff about.
Yeah, so we had a great Olympic game today. We had Team USA going up against Nigeria, 2 tough competitive teams. I don't remember the exact score. I think Team USA won by like 13 or 15 points, something like that. But
88-74.
88-74. So 14-point win for Team USA. All around great performance from the team. My thoughts on it, just watching it from the first half, you could tell that, at least to me, that USA didn't necessarily, like, I guess you could tell that that they were going to go another year in the second half. Like, I think they were pretty reserved in the first half. They did what they had to do. I mean, give credit to Nigeria. I thought they played really good in the first half, but you could just tell, like, throughout the first half that Team USA was going to run away with it. And I think that's been the norm, honestly, because USA hasn't had really great starts, to a lot of these games. I mean, even the game against Germany, they didn't really have a good start. And I got to give credit to USA because Nigeria has been a really tough competitive team for those who haven't been watching. And the one thing that I took away from it was the fact of, because Nigeria really loves at thriving off high percentage shots. They love to cut. They love to attack driving lanes. They love to find those high percentage shots inside. And once Team USA took that away from them and forced them to be a jump shooting team, I think that's where Team USA really had momentum. Asia Wilson had a strong performance, had a double-double. Stewie had another strong performance. Give credit to I'm just gonna say this, man. Give credit to Jackie Young, bro. Somebody put a battery in Jackie Young's back, and we actually talked about it too in our chat. Like, Jackie Young needs more playing time. She needs more opportunity, and she carried that momentum from the game against Germany, scoring 19 points, and then carrying over to this game. I know that she had a scare early in the game. She had like a little ankle, like a little ankle twist or whatever it was, but she played through it. So hopefully that's not a big injury. But overall, give credit to Team USA, and also give credit to Nigeria, because even though they lost this game, it was a really tough competitive game, and they've had a really good Olympics as a whole as well. I mean, that game against Canada where they really ran away with that win in the second half was really dope. So give credit to Nigeria as well, because they had a really strong Olympic tournament.
Lo, what you got, Lo? I know you ready. I saw some shit you said on Twitter.
What I say? Listen.
Listen, Lo was pissed about the final score. I am too about the final score. But
yes.
Go ahead,
I was pissed about that because we were 30-piecing these women, and we got a little lackadaisical at the end and kind of let them come back, and it's like, come on, bro. We just got to put the body down. Just put the just got to put it down.
Just don't let them get no life whatsoever.
Exactly. So, Jackie Young, like you said, but I want to shout out to Cheryl Reeve for actually making the adjustment. I know she reads Twitter. I'm sure she probably saw the tweets, but aside from that,
getting killed on Twitter.
Man, what? Aside from that, though, shout out to Cheryl Reeve for putting her into the starting lineup, because I think that was a game shifter. I think this is the best start to the game that they've had since the Olympics have started, and I think it's attributed because Jackie Young is just a little bit quicker right now and more of an offensive and defensive threat when compared to Dinah Taurasi at this point in her career, right? It was just very confusing, and we've talked about it at length in the group chat. What?
Nick today in the group chat said she got to go. She got to go. She do got like cement feet on the court though. She don't need to be out there.
I mean, but think about it, right? Even 20 years ago, her feet were, when she was 20 years younger, she still ain't playing lick of defense. So this has nothing to do with
I mean, to tell the truth, like that backcourt, I think it was like in the second quarter, they had a backcourt of DT and Sabrina, and it was just not good defensively.
Oh my God.
I tweeted about that, actually. I tweeted about that. I said, so I gave Cheryl props, but it was still some lapses. I'm like, it should never be a backcourt of Sabrina and DT. Like, it should just never be. Like,
never.
Ever.
Never.
Like, it was I felt like I was watching paint dry out there with them playing defense. Like, it was terrible.
That's like putting Curry and Dame
Footwork
in the
is
backcourt at the same
nasty.
time.
It was for real. And so I will say Breanna has competed better this year on the defensive end, but she was out there getting cooked today defensively, like just absolutely getting cooked. But like you said, Nick, Jackie Young has just been so huge for this team, and I like that she's getting rewarded for playing her defense, and just playing great on both ends of the floor. Shot 6 for 10 from the field, so not only is she scoring, but she's scoring efficiently. Asia Wilson, like you said, another double. Again, her shooting, I think she missed 2 shots. She shot 9 for 11 from the field. So that's 81%. Like, these are very efficient looks. Like, it's not like she's just throwing stuff up there. So I knew that we would beat them. I didn't think it was going to be close. I called that it would probably be a 20-point, at least minimum of 20-point lead, at least. And we saw at times where it got to 30 points and stuff like that.
Yes.
I think Kahleah Copper needs more playing time. Like, I don't know what we're doing. Like, when you see DT and Breanna getting cooked in the backcourt, why not put an athletic body out there that is quick on her feet? Like, to me, it's just logical. But again, I'm not a coach, and I'm not the coach of the U.S. team. I'm just telling you what I see from my couch. But again, I think it just goes to show that we are basically the biggest team in the tournament at this point. And we, again, out-rebounded them 44-28. And I think our size is just too much for anybody to handle at this point.
No, it really is. And the one thing I did notice, because I turned the game on late, but the one thing I did like, and I did tweet about it, was how they finished the second quarter. That like set the tone for me for like the second half, because I forgot. I mean, Asia had like a whole sequence by herself where the lead jumped.
She had I know she had an offensive rebound, second chance point. She later got a block on the next defensive possession. Then she ended up hitting Stewie on the left corner for a 3, and that was pretty much
like a little curl thing. Yeah, and like they just like from there, they just set the tone for the rest of that second quarter, like the last minute and a half. But that's what top teams do. And they got the best players. She just made her imprint. Like the lead went to like 19 right at halftime, like 19, 20. It was like, I think it might have been even like 9, 10, 11, and they just shot that shit up. And we knew then that blitz got to be coming in the third quarter, and that shit did. Like, they couldn't. I know for a fact they didn't want to be in no battle in the fourth quarter with Nigeria, because old girl, I can't pronounce her last name. How you say it? Kahleah?
Yeah.
Kahleah was super. She was killing them.
Shit,
like, if they would have went to the fourth quarter in a close game, you don't know what's going to happen when a team like that get momentum. You don't want to be fucking around like that, even if you do got the best players in the world. Like, you don't want to do that. I'm glad we saw that, because it easily could have been, like Nick said, it could have been a dog fight longer than what it needed to have been, because they jumped out on them and they just kept it going, which I'm glad. I'm pissed off about the end of the fourth, because what we got done, we were down from like 30 to 19 or some shit like that, 17, some crazy shit like that shouldn't happen. But we moving on though. That's all that matters at this point.
I'm glad you put up the second quarter point, because I think that's kind of where the game changed, in my opinion, as well. But I thought it changed a little bit earlier, before Asia went on her sequence of good events. When Cheryl made them start playing a little bit more full court defense, I think that made Nigeria speed up a little bit, and then we start to see them turn the ball over more. So I think that was a good adjustment as well. So Cheryl Reeve made a few good adjustments during the game today.
She did.
Facts.
She definitely did. I'm glad, and we want to see adjustments. We don't want to see like the same shit, because even though they are winning, you know how it is. You could be stubborn and be like, "Well, we're winning games. I don't need to adjust." But you need to. We're just knockout rounds. You can't fuck around and lose a game. No, we can't do that. So I'm glad to see that. And you need to have Jackie out there. She gonna set the tone. Defense. That's how we. Can't nobody fuck with us when it comes. We lock down. Can't nobody fuck with these women like that. So I'm glad to see that. Who we got next? Australia?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It's Australia. We're supposed to be playing because somebody tweeted today, like, Lauren Jackson and Ezzy. So we're gonna be playing Australia next.
Oh, Australia's a good team too.
Friday,
really good.
a.m.
You said Friday?
11:30 a.m. Yeah.
Damn, yo.
Quick turnaround.
These other games kicking my ass, dog. I swear.
God, I'm so glad the Olympics gonna be in LA in 2028, because this time difference is insane. I can deal with 2 hours, but this shit here, I gotta stop doing what I'm doing at 11:30 or find a time to watch this game.
Yep, basically.
Because I like watching this shit live if I can. Because by the time you get to the replay, you know everything that's happening at that point. So it's not the same. But
and on top of that, I gotta watch on my phone around that time too, and I'm not really a big fan of watching on my phone.
No,
to be honest.
I hate watching on my phone. I don't know how people do it. Even when I'm traveling, I don't like watching shit on my phone. Like
that's the last resort. Like your phone gotta be last resort.
Easily.
I'm trying to watch those shit on my
damn
phone.
Now I'm like shit.
But y'all saw me today. I done canceled my last patient so I can go home and watch the game.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Basketball's like,
I'm sorry. It is. Hoops is like
that patient might have needed help. Low was like, nah, fam. Ball is left, dog.
Look, I'll see you tomorrow, brother.
Whatever you guys go out to wait.
God got you, my boy.
Better
say a prayer.
Oh my God, y'all, she playing, y'all. She has a heart, y'all. She playing, y'all. She not serious.
No. Also, one thing that I wanted to say real quick, and hang on, real quick. Like one thing that I noticed over, like not even just in this game, but even the Olympics. Angel and Stewie worked so well together. Like it is so dope to see how they work together. Like they really complement one another significantly. It just made me think like, yo, if they were really on a team of the WNBA, it'd be over. It'd be over.
Yeah, like it's
crazy.
Like their movement together, like that three at the end of the second quarter when Asia sealed them off on the block, got the ball. You don't know what to do when Asia get the ball. You got Stewie right there. What you gonna do?
Yeah,
you gonna double Asia or you gonna double Stewie? And they both so damn smart. Like
that's the thing. They're both good passers. They both can knock down perimeter shots. They're both great defensively. I'm sorry, you ain't got no choice when both of them are locked in. I'm sorry,
you don't. And there's nobody should be winning. Nobody should be beating us when you got them two locked in like this. There's nothing anybody can do.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't watched Australia. I'm sure they got some hoopers over there. I'm looking for another dub on Friday.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it.
Their guard play is questionable, but our guard play has been questionable too. So I guess. Yeah.
Certain lineups, honestly.
I mean, I guess it's the certain lines we have with our guard player. You got DT out there and Sabrina at the same time. You can't do that ever.
Yeah.
So, man, I get the trade-off. You're thinking about scoring. You're thinking about scoring, but that trade-off can be kind of on the nasty side because we're going to give up just as much as we're going to give somebody.
Right.
When you got them two on the court. So, but I'm excited about what we got. 3 more games?
Well, the next one the next one will be semifinals. So I think, because this is a quarterfinal. So
damn, this shit almost over.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie though, this Olympics been fun, but I'm kind of ready for the W to start back up. Like
that's the crazy thing too, and I think the commentators brought that up, like with the men compared to the women. Like the men right now, they're all in their off season, so even after this, they chilling or they're gonna prepare for the next season. Like these women, literally after this Olympics, they got to go right back into the W season like 4 or 5 days later and got to prepare. So
literally within that week, yes.
Yeah, for real. I mean, that was saying the W begins or restarts like next Thursday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
they get no break.
Mm-hmm. So like
it's serious.
Like so that's why I'm seeing highlights of teams in like practicing this shit right now. You got
you see like Chicago.
Take this time. Yeah, I saw them. Yeah. You gotta take this time because everybody ain't over there. That makes sense. That's a crazy turnaround.
Yeah.
I don't think that women get enough credit of all the turnaround times they have when it comes to.
Honestly, I mean, when you talk about the W, then some of them go overseas and all that. Like, ain't really no off season.
It's zero break.
It's zero break. Zero break.
And people don't understand that, and people don't realize the toll it takes on their body, especially before the charter flights. When they were travel days used to be 10, 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing that year round without a break, like would they get 2 weeks off for maybe Christmas? Like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's terrible.
No, and even then, some of them are still training.
Right.
Yeah, it's bad. No, I'm glad it's really bad, and I'm surprised. Like I know you don't want to drag shit on, and I'm guessing you don't want to like have the season go too far into like football season, but you gotta give them a break. A little bit longer than that, you know what I'm saying? I know it's only everybody not in the Olympics, but you still got to get them some. Your best players over there, you at least want to give them a break. You would think that's your product. I mean, I get it. some people not gonna feel somebody should be over there, but you know what I'm saying. Like, I didn't think the turnaround time was that crazy, but
I agree. Like, I think even like how they do for the men for the All-Star game, like, you know how after that weekend they still have at least like 4 days or so off before they have to report back, and like the women don't. Like, they don't have any, like, they can at least put that kind of break in there after the All-Star game, and then also like when it is the Olympic year, like, you got to give them some type of break, man.
And you knew this was coming. It's not like the Olympics just snuck up on us.
Right.
Exactly. We had a long time to prepare.
Right.
It's not like it's just like here come the Olympics now. It's nothing like that. So, but that's insane. I do want to ask y'all which one y'all want to do. We brought up overseas. Do you want to talk about them comments, or do y'all still want to talk about that MVP ladder right now? We got a bunch of shit.
We can dive into MVP.
Yeah.
Right, so look, I got this. I pull up this graphic for us to look at, and this is for everybody else who's watching on live. That I have this graphic.
Shout out to everybody on YouTube, man, tapping in.
I'm gonna show everybody, bro. Here we go, bro. We got this right here. We don't give a shit about 10 through 5, honestly.
Come on, man. You can't do that, dog. Everybody on here is hooping. Let's just everybody hooping.
They are hooping. But the main thing I wanted to ask y'all about was a 1 and 2.
I would swap it personally, but that's just me. It is not a knock to Stewie. I think Stewie's been incredible on both ends of the floor, but I think Asia's impact has just been so significant. I mean, honestly, both of them have been super impactful for Team USA, but I think Asia I think she's just been slightly better. I mean, you talk about, scoring, rebounding, defending, passing, screening. I think Asia's just been able to do everything at a high level. And like I said, it's not a knock to Stewie, in my opinion, because Stewie's been incredible as well. Like, I mean, Stewie, there was one game, I think it was against Germany, where she just went crazy.
That's the one. I'm glad you said that.
Exactly.
But that up because
I mean, if you ask me, I think
this list came out right after that game, and I was trying to find another list like after today's game. Nothing. They never did nothing yet, but this is right after that game in Germany against Germany when she went nuts. So I don't know if it's just off of this one game, but to me, I mean, I know at this point, I know there's been 2 episodes, but people gonna call us homers. Well, not homers, but biased because we all 3 of us love Asia.
It's our opinion, man. If they don't like it, fuck it.
I don't know about y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how y'all. I don't know what the rest of the. I don't need to see none of this other shit. I'm just saying.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Am I wrong for saying? Am I wrong for that?
I mean, just to credit the other players. I mean, Marie Johannes had just had a recent good performance as well. Give credit to her. Megan Gustafson for Spain. She's been really good.
Yeah, Satu.
Who's that?
Satu.
Yeah, Satu has, yeah. Especially coming back from injury. I can't wait to see her back in the W. That's one person I can't wait.
I mean, but I agree with Nick. I think that Asia has a slight advantage. In the 4 games that they've played, she had 3 of those games have been double-doubles. She's just doing it on both ends of the floor, and that's not to say that Stewie's not, but when you actually compare the numbers, their total points in these Olympic games, Stewie has 74, Asia has 81 total points. Asia has 40 rebounds, Stewie has 23 rebounds. Asia has 10 assists, Stewie has 1 more, Stewie has 11 assists. Asia, they both have 8 blocks total. And one thing that's key to me is Asia has 6 steals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she is getting in these passing lanes. She is playing both ends of the floor very, very well. And I think that's been very underrated. The one area that Stewie is leading is the shooting from the field, but it's only by 1%. Stewie is shooting 63% from the field. Asia is shooting 62. So they're both shooting very, very efficiently.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Insane.
Both of them shooting 60%.
Right?
God,
isn't it crazy? Like, crazy. So they're playing is honestly neck and neck. So it depends on your preference of what you like to see in a basketball player. But I think, like, as soon as Cheryl saw that the league was starting to slip, who's she going to first to come in the game? Asia Wilson. Like, So I think for me, it's just Asia. And that's all I got for y'all. It's just Asia.
Best player in the world.
And that's it. That's all. Period.
Best player in the world, like I've been saying all year.
That's it. That's all. That's all I got for that. I mean, I think, and it was fun even looking at this. Like, I'm glad. I think it was you, Nick, that brought this up to talk about this. And I'm glad you did, because when I saw this 1 and 2, right, that Breanna Stewart at 2, every 1, and H at 2, I was like, nah, that's insane. I mean, I can't blame them, but I mean, I get it. I mean, it's Stewie. It's still, I mean, she's still one of, I mean, is she still the second best player in the league?
To me, yes, but I know other people may have different opinions. But to me, I mean, top 2 in the W right now is Angel Stewie, if you ask me.
You would think, who the hell else are they saying?
I don't think
I've heard Nafisa Collier. I've heard
Mhm.
Nafisa Collier.
Mm.
I don't know about anybody else, honestly. AT, Alyssa Thomas, even though I don't agree with that at all. I mean, and I love AT, but
Yeah, I
to
wouldn't
me,
put
it's
her
always
over
been Angel
Breanna.
Stewie, top 2.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
I think
No, I'm with you on that. No, I'm definitely with you on that. I thought that was a fun list to look at. But I think when it's all said and done, Asia gonna win this shit. The MVP of the Olympics when it's all said and done, because she showed again today. I think if this come out tomorrow, if they do another list tomorrow, I'm sure she'd probably be at number 1 after today's game. You would think.
they're so neck and neck that
That's the thing, yeah.
based on the game, based on every game, whoever plays the
Mhm.
best game, they just gonna switch them to one. You know, they're
And
so
these
they're so
type of
close.
lists are always fun. Like, I never really get wrapped up in them. Like, people be on Twitter just, especially on the men's side, like, goddamn MVP ladders. People just really lose it's more so media stuff. It don't really mean too much anything until it's all said and done. But to the damn overseas stuff. Now, a lot of people don't even know about the overseas. I didn't know a bunch about the overseas, what you want to call it? What's the word?
The prioritization rule.
Yeah, there you go. A lot of people didn't even know about that. It was a clip. How you say her name?
Satu.
Satu Sabali.
There you go. It was a clip. I forgot what it was on. I had pulled it off to see if we can listen to it. See if it.
Well, I mean,
Can y'all hear
as
that?
a player, I obviously criticize the prioritization rule that the WNBA implemented.
I don't know. First of all, for everybody that's listening, who will be listening, I don't know what show she was on. Y'all know what show she was on?
I think she was just getting interviewed in the locker room. I mean, at least that's what it sounded like. I don't know for sure, but it sounded
I
like.
didn't see no video. Yeah, I didn't see no video.
Black Rosie Media. Shout out to Black Rosie Media. I met her at
There you go.
All-Star
See, look at
Weekend.
it.
Shout out to her.
We told y'all she famous.
Olivia.
Lono.
Here we go.
Shit, I didn't know. See, here we go. Run the clip.
Well, I mean, as a player, I obviously criticize the prioritization rule that the WNBA implemented. I think it's really bad to punish international players, especially, coming from France. They can't come over at all anymore. That's just unfair, and I think the NBA does a better job of incorporating international players, also pushing them in the media. Like, there's a clear disparity in that, and I think it's just great to see how good international teams can be, and that the WNBA obviously should, support us as well. It goes to media rights, to just, wanting to keep us in the league, and as of now, it doesn't seem like the WNBA really supports international welcoming play.
Do you have confidence that can?
I think I need to play no more. It's a minute 25. I don't know if y'all want to hear the rest of that. That shit was interesting. But then, first of all, before I put another clip from Angel Reese, Lo, I know you probably can explain this shit a lot better than I could. But
Me too.
Explain what she actually talking about.
So basically, the prioritization rule is a newer rule where the WNBA is trying to prevent the women that play overseas to come. They're basically trying to make them choose. Are you choosing between the WNBA or are you choosing between overseas? Because with FIBA, basically, when the women come over, they miss training camp and some of them miss the beginning of the season. So the WNBA is like, we're not trying to have that. Like, people are paying to come see y'all play, and we need everybody to start at training camp. So they implemented a new rule. Basically, if you're a rookie up to your third year, it doesn't apply to you. However, outside of that third year and up, you have to choose. Like, you can't do both. So if you don't report to the WNBA by the start of training camp, you can't play in the league for that season.
That's insane. I had no idea it was like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's the messed up part.
But for me, I can get both sides, right? Like, because you're essentially making these women choose their livelihood. because they go overseas because they have to out of necessity to make money for their family. So I get that. Like, I get why they are going over there. But also the WNBA is a business. I understand. You want your best products to be playing when the season starts. They can't just, like, you can't take a backseat to FIBA. Like, this is the WNBA, the best players in the world come and play here. So it's like, do we take a backseat to FIBA basketball and say, hey, they can come over whenever they're done their season? No, they're saying no because it's a business. So I literally get both. I get both sides of it. I think the solution is when you renegotiate the CBA, you have to make amendments to those rules. So it has to be like, you have to change the rules a little bit and give it a little more leeway. Because until these players start making a competitive pay in the WNBA, you really don't have much foot to stand on. Pay them more, they wouldn't have to go overseas.
No, facts. I agree with everything you're saying. I think the rule is just insane. Like you said, I can see both sides. A lot of times I can see both sides of any argument, and I definitely get how the league is feeling. And I also get how the women feel too as well, because they still got to support a family, you know what I'm saying, regardless, or they still want to make a living. And it's just, I think that's just insane that it is going on. But I think all this is even funnier, not even funnier, but even crazier, because we had that shit a couple of days ago. And then today, Angel Reese, after practice, say what she had to say. Like, I got that clip too, but everybody want to hear, because this shit is just a saga at this point, because all is really new to me. I didn't know that shit was even a thing like that. Like, they put that in.
They put it in the last year.
From January,
Let me see if I get.
being
There we go.
able to be in Miami, from
Can y'all hear
January
it?
to March, not having to go overseas. I never planned on going overseas. Okay. So that already sparked me. Being able to know two great players that are starting something, I think is amazing. Who would want to play with two great players like that? And I knew they were going to bring on a couple more dogs. Nobody wants to go overseas. Right. A lot of us never want to have to go overseas, but some people do have to go overseas, unfortunately. So being able to make, six figures, being able to make six figures here within 3 months, being able to be housed in Miami, and just being able to get better 3-on-3 is something that I love to do. I haven't been able to play competitively, but I think I can be able to work on some of my individual skills by being able to play, because 3-on-3 exposes everything. Yeah. Being able to do that. So I'm excited for it.
I'm not gonna lie. Angel told the girls to step their money up.
She did.
Angel told the young ladies to step your bag up, Bookie. I don't have to go overseas because I already got this bag in the U.S., the United States, okay? The
She said, I'm going to Miami.
Right.
She said, I'm going to Miami, nigga. I'm going to Miami to hoop. Like, what did you do?
South Beach.
Basically told all y'all that's crazy. I mean, but what she's saying is real though. Like, she can afford to do that because she makes money from her endorsements and the outside stuff, you know, all her off-court stuff, because she's her own brand. So she can afford to do that. Caitlin Clark can afford to do that. But a lot of players in the WNBA can't afford to do that. They have to go overseas and play. So I get what she's saying though, for sure.
Me too. Nick, you can put it in the group chat.
No, I definitely understand what she's saying, especially from that perspective when you talk about financially. I mean, she has endorsement deals. Caitlin Clark has endorsement deals, so they have the luxury of making money even outside of playing basketball. So that's definitely beneficial for them. But if you're like a role player on a team that doesn't have any endorsement deals, you know, you got to take that opportunity right there. And I saw some people talk about it on the timeline and everything, at least from a basketball standpoint, as far as how it could help her game, because we all agree here. I mean, Angel can definitely take her game to another level. I mean, even though she has been great this year for Chicago, you know, she could definitely continue to improve her offense. So from a basketball perspective, it could definitely help her, you know, take her game to another level, because for people who don't watch overseas, it's actually really great competitive basketball, and they really know the fundamentals of the game for those who really don't know. So I can understand it from that aspect. And I know people have questions about Unrivaled, you know, especially considering it's going into their first year, but give it a chance, honestly. I mean, I know that I want to say, what is it, like 3-on-3? I think it is 3-on-3, something like that. So I know it's slightly different from regular 5-on-5 basketball, but let's just give it a chance, honestly. I mean, let's just see how it goes.
But I think 3-on-3 can also sharpen your skills, though.
Yeah.
I said I think 3-on-3 can also sharpen your skills. It's about honestly, Angel not gonna get better. Like, so this is the thing, she won't get better until she's putting the extra work in the gym. So it's like, yes, you can play 3-on-3, which is great because you're playing against the best players in the country as well, because they already signed a lot of good players. But she still needs that outside work outside of 3-on-3. And I just hope that I got confidence. I think next year we'll see her definitely have more to her offensive game than she does this year.
People
I
just got to
think a
be
lot of
patient
times,
too,
I
though.
think
Like,
my fault. Go ahead.
no, I'm saying like people just got to be patient too. I mean, this is still a rookie. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? She still has time to grow and develop her game, and I think people are upset because they're not seeing her at her best. And it's like, why do y'all want to like? I don't know why people are expecting her to be like one of the top players in the league in year one. I mean, look, like I said, I mean, she's been really good this year, but everybody has room to grow. Every rookie has room to grow. Angel Reese has room to grow. Kaylin Clark has room to grow. Kia Jackson has room to grow. Like everybody has room to grow. So it's like, why are we expecting the full product in year one? Like that's my question.
I mean, but this is my rebuttal to that. I don't think people are asking for too much. We're asking her not to shoot from her hip. That's not
That's
something
true too.
as a professional. Like, come on. Like, I don't blame her. I actually blame her coaches. Y'all let this go on too long. Like in elementary school, when you're playing basketball, they teach you to not shoot that low. Like and especially, I know she went from being a guard to a big. As a big, they teach you to keep the ball up at all times. So I'm not sure where that habit came from. And also, I think people just complain about her not being able to finish around the rim. I think that's a okay complaint because she literally be smoking, like she be smoking putbacks, man, like that she should be making. So now if they're telling her, oh, you need to develop a mid-range game, you need to be able to take somebody off the dribble, that's ridiculous right now. Like that is just like that's not a good expectation at this point. Like, but for her to finish around the rim as a professional athlete, I think that's an okay expectation.
She also need to get in the weight room too.
Absolutely.
Them legs.
Yeah, I mean, because I think we talked about it last episode. I mean, that's. I mean, we talked about it last episode. I mean, that's part of the reason why she hasn't really been finishing strong at the rim because she's going up against a lot of the top tier bigs in the league, like Alyssa Thomas, Asia Wilson, or whoever it is. So it's hard to finish at the rim when you don't have that size and have that strength. So that's something that she's definitely gonna have to work on this offseason.
Absolutely. I agree.
No, that's definitely what she's gonna have to work on this offseason. But like, and because I know last episode we talked about 3-on-3, I do think it's gonna help her a lot with just moving in space and just she's gonna have to work on some things. So it's gonna be fun to watch. But anytime Angel Reese open her mouth now, it's like box office. It's like media gold because she gonna give you something. It's either gonna get twisted or she really just didn't care and she just said what she was on her mind. Like even like the shit she said about dudes, her flying out dudes. That shit like took over the world. Like her little meme, what she was doing. Like anything she do. Yeah, anything she does just take over. So it's like really big clickbait, but I don't have no problem with what she said. I mean, it makes sense. Well, she has the opportunity to do so.
Yep.
I mean, she's one of the more popular figures in sports right now. Let's just keep it real. I mean, I know people like to downplay it, especially a lot of Kaylin Clark fans who may not like Angel Reese, but Angel Reese has motion. I told y'all this last week. Like she has motion. Like people gotta stop acting like she's not one of the more popular figures in the world right now.
I'm telling you, right here in this city, people talking about Angel Reese everywhere. If you have on anything that's women who's related, they bring her up.
Yep.
Like she everywhere. She's everywhere in the city. Like she is kicking it. She is meant to be known. Like she's everywhere. So I mean, man, she's polarizing and it's okay. And
on top of that, she got celebrities pulling up. Like I remember against Dallas, Lotto pulled up. There's some other celebrities that pulled up too. I know SZA had posted something that's saying that she was gonna pull up to a game too. So Angel's Angel, man. Like we gotta stop playing around.
She be having the Winchell's rocking. They be having a lot of celebrities more so go to like players will go support, but it's celebrities now going to these games.
Yeah.
Like it ain't just Bulls players going. You know what I'm saying?
It's integrating like Black culture in women's basketball.
Yeah, she is. Look, I kept saying she's perfect for here. Even before she got drafted, she was perfect for here, man. Like she gonna fit here, and she does. Like Anyway, what she said was nothing bad, and I guess I get her the other girl. I forget her name. I want to butcher it. I'm out of practice. I don't want to butcher her name. Yeah, I get what she's saying. Like don't forget about us. But do you think maybe once the league get bigger, they won't have to put these rules in? Because you got to think like when we started all watching the NBA was already in 30 years, 40 years, 50. By the time I started watching the NBA, it was in 92. NBA been in a long time, so now it's like
46. I want to say.
Yeah, so it's like we are in the middle of. We're still at like the beginning phases of the damn league, so it's like hopefully, like we're now like we talking about watching the first game. Like we saw the look. I'm sorry, I know probably just me and Low, but we saw the first.
I did.
I saw that first game live, bro.
I'm gonna be real. I wasn't even born yet.
Exactly.
Seriously. I was born in '98. The league started in '97.
See what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
sorry.
sorry, last week we had air swoops. Now we got the start of the damn league. That's what. Man, like we saw that shit, so it's like we seeing like we're still like in this beginning phase of a business. So hopefully, with us getting new teams, like we get 2 more teams, and then other stuff, like don't have to. We can get more revenue, so these women don't have to go overseas. And
Yeah.
hopefully that's the plan. I would think.
But
You
you
know what I'm
brought,
saying?
you brought up a good point, Jay, and I think people don't realize how young the league is. Like if you go back and look at the NBA, in the first 28 years, they weren't this mega NBA like they were now. Not until David Stern really got them to be more global and, you know, bring the international players over. And then when Mike came and all that, I mean, Magic and
It was
that.
still the 80s and shit.
Right, exactly. So it didn't really get popping because the thing is, people don't realize that the NBA was known for just being like athletic people, but they were drug addicts. Like they were literally on coke. They were cokeheads. And so people don't realize, like nobody, first of all, people were racist, so they didn't want to watch black players play. And then they also didn't want to watch cokeheads play. Understandable, right?
Understandable.
Right, understandable. So like, I think people don't realize the history of the league and the NBA, and they don't realize that the WNBA is still in its infancy stage. Like we're not even 30 years in yet. So we're moving in the right direction. And before Caitlin, before Angel, before Ricky, before these great rookies have entered the league, in the last 5 years, the WNBA has been on an upward trajectory. And people don't realize that. Like
they don't.
Like, yes, Caitlin, Angel, all the rookies have taken it to a whole nother level. Like, it's like an outlier. They've taken it to a whole nother level. But let's be clear, like the league has been going upward for at least 5 years now.
And it's teams, like for all the new fans, it's teams that we don't even have no more that we had. Like we had a team in Houston. We had a team
Sacramento,
in Detroit, Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? Like
Miami had a team. Miami Soul.
Miami. We had so many teams.
Charlotte
so
State.
it's like people don't understand. We're still like the NBA was in tape delay. The NBA wasn't even being played live.
Yeah.
So it's like it still had and it had to wait. You had to wait till Magic, Bird, and then Mike come to the league for it to actually even work.
Yeah.
You had to even hit on them 3 dudes. So it's like, I know people want to say like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is like Magic and Bird. I think it's more so because it's the black and white.
I really hate that comparison. People need to shut the fuck up about that shit, man. Damn.
That's just sick.
God damn. I hate that shit so much. Like they always do that. I'm like, bro.
I hate that shit too. I get people bring that shit to me all the time. Like if I have like a hoop shirt on, they bring that shit. I'll be like, bro. Yeah, you
just because one black and one white is crazy.
Yeah, that's only like you can't think of nothing else. Like I mean, I guess they did play each other in college in the national championship, but it's like, can we just figure out a different way? We don't have to say they're saving the league like they Magic and Bird because they're not really saving the league. And
then, for example, like Magic is a generational type of player. 6'9" can play the point guard, you know, like he was a big point guard for that time. I mean, still would be a big point guard, right? But like Angel, respectfully, is not generational. Caitlin, respectfully, is not generational.
I don't think she is either.
She's not. Nobody in this draft class is a generational player, and that's respectfully. Like, do they move the needle? Absolutely. But we're talking about a generational talent. Nobody in this draft class is a generational talent.
I don't think people really know what generational is anymore.
They don't.
No, they don't know the true definition. They throw that term around a lot when it comes to a great player.
Like to me, how do you gonna call? Like, how you gonna say LeBron and Wemby are generational, and then turn around and say somebody else is? Like, them two are like you can't tell me Wemby is generational, then you tell me somebody else in the next draft is generational.
Right?
It don't work that way.
Right?
Like
generational is the sense of the word. This happens like once every decade or every
once in a lifetime type player.
Right? Yeah. Right.
What do people be confused what this shit is? Like, you can't, like you said, respectfully to these 2 young ladies. We've seen players like Angel Reese. We've seen players like Caitlin Clark. So it's like, I'm with you, Nick. Fuck that comparison.
Right.
Fuck that shit.
Honestly, the only W player, and there might be more, but the only W player that I can think is actually generational is Candace Parker.
Yes.
I can't think of, I mean, there might be some other ones that I can't think of right now, but Candace Parker is the one that comes to my head.
Say it again. Man. Say it a little louder. Who?
Candace Nicole
Oh,
Parker.
all right, bet. I just want to make sure the audience heard. I just want to make sure the audience heard because y'all be playing on my ghost name for real.
No, for real. How many people say they watch women hoops because of Candace Parker?
Absolutely.
You hear it all the time, so that's really generational.
Think about all the records. Like, you know how many records was since Candace Parker? It's crazy.
But people wanted to rate her most overrated in 2019.
I hated that.
Anybody in the league that rated her overrated, at me, please, because I want to compare careers.
Low one all the smoke.
I'm gonna pull up your career stats, and I'm gonna pull up her career stats, and let's just have some fun.
No, that was some insane shit though. Like, how do people watch sports and then? Well, first of all, we know they don't watch, but how can you act like you watch sports and then say you can watch highlights and see Candace Parker is now overrated?
Well, they was just hating because she's beautiful and she's talented. That's just hate. It's literally nothing else. Like, she's making money outside of basketball. She don't got to go. They just hating.
I'm sorry. My girl was really going through it. You know what I'm saying? She didn't make the USA team. Derek Fisher, dumbass, benched her in that playoff game. I'm so glad she got that chip in Chicago. She deserved that one. She deserved that one.
Speaking of Derek Fisher, bro, him and his agent, yeah, y'all knew better. That's all I would say. Because I was supposed to be on that podcast, and I was going to ask him to specifically ask him, well, what was your rationale when you benched one of the best players of all time during an elimination game? What was that? Run me through what was going through your head.
Derek Fisher didn't want that smoke from you.
He did it. Agent responded quick, like, nah, we only want one person asking questions. Oh, all right, bet.
There's too many. You can't. Derek Fisher, he can't. I feel like now he know for a fact he can't have too many variables going on in an interview. He know he got to deal with one person. He can't deal with more than one because he don't know what the other person going to say, which is you.
Yep. What is you? I know we way off topic, but I do agree that it needs to be a conversation had about generational talent because people see a good player. It's okay to just be a good player. That's great. Like, you perfected your skill. But when we say generational, this is not happening again in our lifetime. This is something that we've never seen before. So like Wemby, right? Not even necessarily so yes, we're talking about his game, but he hasn't played enough professional games for some people to feel comfortable with saying he's a generational player. But when you look at this kid, when you look at his body type, when you look at the things that he can do at how tall is he? 7'9", 7'6", 7'9",
7'3", 7'4", something like that.
Super tall, right? I think 7'4", 7'6". Anyway, when you see what he can do, he's literally as tall as a center, but has guard-like skills. We have not seen someone as big as him with guard-like skills like that before.
Hell, he's taller than the average center.
Literally.
No, facts.
And he's literally like, that is a generational talent. When you talk about generational talent, Simone Biles, we'll never see that again. And at least in our lifetimes, like we'll probably never, she's one of one. Like you have to be one of one to be a generational talent, in my opinion.
Facts.
And people argue me down on Twitter. Angel Reese is generational. Bro, generational players don't shoot from their hips. Stop.
Listen, generational jumps off the screen. I don't know, because this conversation, you can go there's so many different ways, but I just had a conversation with somebody on Twitter about some receivers, and there was a receiver that got drafted, and he's generational. Everybody call him that. His dad is a Hall of Fame, but he's generational. It jumped off the screen at college. Yeah. There's other receivers that got picked after him, but people were trying to call this next receiver off the board generational. I said, wow.
Yeah.
Like, what? How? You can't tell me there's two generations in the same draft.
But to be fair, like when it comes to the W, like it's a lot of new fans because they don't go back and do the history. You know what I'm saying? They don't know about a lot of like the previous players that came before the Caitlin Clarks and the Angel Reeses. So this is pretty much their introduction to women's basketball. So therefore they're seeing what they're seeing now, and they're seeing what Caitlin Clark did at college and what Angel Reese did in college. They're looking like, oh shit, this is the next big thing. This is generational. But in hindsight, like in the past 28, 29 years, there's been a lot of great W players that came before them.
But if you don't know the history, how do you put your lips together to call somebody generational?
Listen, that's another thing. Now I get it. I'm a little bit older, so we didn't have no computer. But my thing is, I will go back. I will watch tapes. I will go find things.
Bro.
I will read stuff, all type of stuff.
That's
now listen, there's so many people. There's so many like,
bro, come on, man.
Nick's age group.
Jesus.
Nick's age
I mean, she ain't wrong though.
And Nick ain't like this. but they don't in all genres of music, sports, they be like, I ain't never seen this. I don't know who this person is. I'd be like, man, how are you having a conversation with me, debating me on hoops? And you ain't even, you started watching, I've had somebody argue me with hoops who started watching basketball when Derrick Rose got drafted. You can't argue me nothing before 2008. Like,
Basically.
you can't, and if you don't go, and that's what, you can if you go back and do research, but they don't. They openly and say, I don't know who that is. I've never seen that. How? Maybe y'all got too much access to stuff. Like, they got YouTube and shit. Like, we didn't have all that, so I guess maybe that's why they feel like they don't need to do that. I don't know what it is, but I feel like you need to do research before you have these conversations. I'm not saying I know everything, but I watch and I go do research.
Right. So, like, even for me, right, like Cheryl Miller, who's a great player, I wasn't old enough to watch her play when she was playing for USC and stuff like that. So
Right.
I went back and looked. I really enjoy the game of basketball, so I watch it all the time. So, like, when I say, when I'm calling someone a generational player, it's coming from research. It's coming from me watching hours of basketball games. Like, I think it's just a term that's overused and people truly don't know what it means. But it makes it lose its, like, authenticity. Like, the word doesn't really mean what it should mean because people throw it around so loosely.
Even the word goat the same way.
Agreed.
Oh my God.
Agreed.
Oh my God.
How you got 5 people in the GOAT conversation is one GOAT?
Oh, this is even better. How you keep putting people in the top 10 but don't take nobody out.
Facts. That's my favorite.
Exactly. Maybe like 80 people in the top 10.
What?
Or top 20.
Take nobody out. Like,
right.
Everybody got their mom in the top 10, but then you had to know to tell me they ain't top 10. Don't get me started on that because that shit pisses me off.
Don't get me started either.
Switching gears.
On that.
Right.
Everybody here, and the only person they will take out is Kobe.
I mean, you don't want to get me started on the W go debate.
We gonna have to have an episode where we have, it's just gonna be a W GOAT debate.
Yes, because that is a fun conversation. Because I know
it ain't
you
Diana
two.
Taurasi, just to let y'all know out there.
Definitely not Diana Taurasi.
None of us are saying it's her on this podcast. I can guarantee you that.
Oh my God!
I want smoke too. Whoever does.
You know it is. You know it is. Come on now. You definitely know it is. You for sure. Real quick before we move on to some for real W stuff, there was some chatter about BG on Twitter. Do you think she need to get more touches, or
she has mismatches like she had today? Yes. Got to feed her the ball. Got to feed her with entry pass. I mean, I know that BG is not BG from like years ago, but I mean, she still shows us that she can still score at a high percentage. Honestly, yeah. I mean,
BG was so special.
She was.
BG go from Baylor to the W was just like.
Go back and watch 2014 BG when they won a championship.
Yeah,
crazy.
That was one of her best years. She was cooking.
Yeah, she was straight cooking. This
is my thing. So the tallest player on Nigeria's team was 6'1", 6'2". Brittney Griner 6'9". There's no way that they should not have been feeding her the ball. She should have had to touch every time down the floor. Every single time. So I don't know, and I tweeted this. I don't know if I'm more angry at her not demanding the ball, or if I'm more angry that the guards couldn't make a post-entry pass because your target is 6'9". Your target. Facts. I don't know how you miss her. So I don't know who I'm more irritated with, but eventually we're going to have to start having a conversation about Brittney Griner because I think she should be a lot better than what she is showing us. And I've been saying this for years, and I said as respectfully as possible, knowing everything that she went through. I don't know what her mental state is like. I don't know what is going on, but just from the eye test and what I watch at 6'9", when we have these GOAT conversations and we talk about the best ever, like she should be in those conversations. And sadly she's not, So, but in this case, specifically for the Olympics, they need to feed her the ball. I'm not understanding why that's not a focal point of the offense. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. When they feed her the ball, typically good things happen. She definitely smoked a few putbacks and layups, but she's out there rebounding, blocking. She's clogging up the paint. She's playing well defensively, but offensively, like, let's get her the ball so she can score. Let's get easy buckets.
Right. I agree with that, honestly. I think it's her not really being assertive and demanding it, because I think if BG's demanding the basketball, you got to get her the ball. And on top, it's like you say, you can't miss her. Like, I mean, you can easily feed her with a post entry pass. Even when one of the defenders fronting her, you can still throw it over the top. So it's like,
Right.
if she demands the ball more, and if she just becomes more assertive on offense, she could easily be dominating. Hell, she could even be in this MVP list that we talked about earlier. Honestly, I
No,
mean,
she
that's
definitely
how
could.
dominant she could be.
No, she
Yeah.
definitely could. I miss seeing dominant BG, man. But sometimes, like you said, Lo, we don't know what her mental state is. What's this, her second season back?
Yeah, second
Yeah,
season since
And then
Yeah,
the whole
also
Russia
somebody brought
situation.
up I can't remember her Twitter name off my head because I want to give her credit for it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but somebody brought up that maybe some of her athleticism has decreased a little bit. And then I got to thinking about it. At first I was like, no. And then I got to thinking about it. I'm like, I mean, she did come in with Skylar and EDD, so Skylar's what, my age, 34, going to turn 35 soon. So they are, getting up there in age as well for a basketball player. So I didn't even think about that until she said that. So that could be a factor as well.
It could, because you think about it, not even just using your athleticism for how long she was gone?
9 months.
A year?
Just a season, yeah. I mean, she missed that whole 2022 season.
Yeah, so it's like you got to get back in the groove. So I can imagine it's probably like it's probably like a injury. Like it's gonna take some time to come back. But sometimes, hey, that shit just be gone. You can't get that shit back. But I'm sure she's still skilled enough to still make an impact. You know what I'm saying? Like, more than what's happening. That
I don't care if she's 50, 80. She's 6'9". You can go out there and get a bucket. You don't really need to even you don't even really gotta hit them with a good footwork. Like, just turn and put it. Like, come on, they're 6'1". Like, you're 8 entire inches taller than them. Like, come on.
If she put the ball above her head, it's like,
and that's how she shoots. She has a great shoot. She shoots well for a big. She keeps the ball up nice and high. So, I mean, the mechanics are there. It's just the motor is what I'm questioning. Like, do you want to be the best? Like, do you want to be in the conversations of MVP? Or are you okay with just saying, you know what, I got my championship, I'm good. I'm going to get my Olympic medals, I'm good. And that's fine. If that, you know what I'm saying? Like, she is cemented in history because she has the hardware to show for it. But, like, how great do you want to be? And everyone, at some point in time, we got to realize everyone's not crazy like Kobe, right? Everyone is not crazy like Asia that wants to continually get better every year. And that's okay, too.
No, facts. Like, people don't understand that one to keep going forward. Like, people just don't get it. So,
yeah.
Still shout out at BG though, man. She was fun. If y'all ain't never really watched her, go watch her highlights. Please do.
You know what's crazy? I started thinking about her 2021 when Phoenix got to the finals. She was cooking then too.
She was.
Jesus Christ.
That
shit was crazy.
Bro. Man, that shit happened at the wrong time. Like, she was cooking. It was just, it's unfortunate. But like I said, on to some W. I think it was Nick idea we do our W first team at the break. Did y'all still do y'all list, or y'all? We gotta get
I don't even know where my list is at, dog.
I have my list, but I don't think y'all
I don't know where my list is at.
We'll finish off with something. We'll hold on until next week. Because we'll have next week because they're gonna be starting to ramp up again. But now we're gonna end the show on this. This was a good one. I don't know who brought it up. But this was
I think it was low.
Okay, I think it was low. The 5 best bucket getters in the W. We came up with a list together. No, I'm not even going to take no credit. Low and Nick was doing
Jay was like, all right, whatever.
He was like, whoever y'all got, I'm good.
I sign off whoever, because I trust them with like stuff they're going to pick and shit like this. Like, I trust them with that. So, here's the list. We have there's no 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. These are the 5 best ones we think. And for those who are watching live, you're going to see this. The ones who are going to watch this on YouTube, hopefully y'all do. You're going to see this. And here we go. This is a great list. Now, I'm gonna butcher her name. I'm going to.
Let us just do it. Okay, so for the people that are listening instead of like actually visually seeing, the list is, these are the 5 best bucket getters. So we have Kahleah Copper, Jewell Loyd, Kennedy Carter, Asia Wilson, and Arike Ogunbowale. So, I mean, I'm sorry, Arike. My God, I'm mixing her up with Nneka.
Arike Ogunbowale.
Ogunbowale, my gosh, yes. So, I think we have to define what we mean by bucket getter. So, Nick, I'm gonna let you start it off because I think people have different definitions of what it means to go out and get a bucket. Some people think that efficiency is, a part of possibly being a bucket getter. So, what do you think it is?
I think it's somebody who is just a natural born scorer, somebody who is born and just made to be able to put the ball in the basket. Somebody who's not afraid to take matters into their own hands and lead the way offensively. I mean, we can talk about a lot of the great scorers in basketball history, like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or Kevin Durant or whoever it is. Like, those are guys that we consider, like, you could put the ball in their hands. They're comfortable no matter what defensive coverage that they may be faced against, and they're still going to find a way to get a bucket. So that's why we picked these players right here. And I'll be right, it wasn't easy picking this list, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of great players, obviously that's not on the list. And even me and Lo were going at it the other day. We're not going at it. I mean, we both had a discussion about it. Because normally when you think about like the best scorers in the league, they're normally like guards and wings. So that's normally how it is. So that's why even like you see Asia right here as a big, it was hard to put Asia in there because when you think about the top scorers or or top bucket getters, they're normally guards and wings. So honestly, I mean, when you look at this list, I mean, Kahleah, like I even said this last week, I think Kahleah is playing her best basketball in Phoenix right now. I think she's an MVP candidate. I know Lo had some smoke for Jewell Loyd because she hasn't been at her best this year. She hasn't been at her best this year. But I'm like, look, Jewell is still, in my opinion, Jewell, even though she hasn't really been that great this year, personally, I think Jewell is the best scorer in the league, even though she hasn't really been that great this year. I think over the past few years, like when you look at her resume, I think she's the best scorer in the league, personally, my opinion. Kennedy, great all-around scorer. I mean, people who watched her at Texas A&M, they knew that. And even this year, especially with her sliding into that top scoring option for Chicago, she's been great. Asia, a big lead in the league in scoring and just really just dominating on all areas of the floor, has been great. Arike, I know that people have a problem with Arike, because she plays a lot of ISO ball and she's not really as efficient. But the one thing, and that's the thing too, and like that's why I respect Arike a lot, is because Arike, it doesn't matter. Like, she could be shooting like, I don't know, like 6 for 20. Like she's still gonna shoot. You know what I'm saying? She's still gonna shoot, and she's still gonna shoot with confidence. So that's my thing too. And I mean, there's a lot of other great scorers as well in the league. Like, I was even trying to make a case for. I mean, I know that she's a little bit older, but DeWanna Bonner. She's been a great scorer throughout the course of her career. Yep. There's a few other players as well, like Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray, and so just so many other players. But to us, these are the top 5 players.
Yeah, I think that like for me personally, like, you kind of hit it on the head, Nick, with just being able to go out and literally get a bucket. Like, you are gutsy enough to, with the game on the line, you're ballsy enough to take the last shot and deal with the outcome. And all these people can score at will. And I think that's kind of what makes them stand out versus the rest of the field in the WNBA. And so, like, for Ka, kind of like you said, she's someone that has a very first quick step, can get to the bucket, and just like she's has an explosive nature. And I think what I like about her most this year is she's shooting the midi and from long distance with more confidence. Like, you could see early on her game was a little bit more predictable when she was in Chicago, in regards to, you knew when Ka was getting the ball, you knew she was going to the basket. But now she's a legit 3-level scorer, so you have to defend her as such. Kennedy Carter, like we said, she's unguardable. In my opinion, the quickest first step in the WNBA right now. Like, the quickest step in the WNBA. The best defenders can't even keep her in front of them. They can't guard her. She's honestly unguardable. And she's been like that. Like, if you watched her in college, she played literally the same exact way. Like, unfortunately, she was out the league for a little bit just because of some personal stuff and interactions with different teammates and stuff like that. But now she's with the right coach, with the right organization, and she's showing the world again, like, hey, I've been doing this. Like, I've been doing this since Texas A&M. We also have Jewell. And so the reason I was hesitant on Jewell is just because I think she's even though she is still in the top for scoring, I think she's underperforming because I know how great Jewell is. Like, I do agree with you, Nick. I think Jewell is one of, if not the best scorer in the WNBA when she's on her game, when she remembers that, hey, I'm Jewell fucking Loyd. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she remembers that, I think she's one of the best players. If not, actually, you're right, the best scorer in the league, because she scores at will. She makes it look easy. Like, she kind of reminds me, I won't say her game is similar to KD, but you know when KD plays, like, he just makes the game of basketball look smooth. He makes it look easy. Like, that's how
He
I
got that
look at
wiggle.
Jewell when she's playing, when she's playing well. Arike, like you said, efficiency, we can go back and forth about her efficiency all day. We know she's not the most efficient player, but like you said, she can shoot 6 from 20 from the field and go hit the game winner. Like, she has guts enough to take that shot, and there's something to be said about that. And then when you even go look at her college tapes, like 2 game winners in the tournament to help Notre Dame win the championship, like, she is a player that is going to go with the game on the line. She's going to go out there and try to get you a bucket and live with the results. And of course, A'ja Wilson. I mean, what can we say about her? Like, she continues to just push the envelope further and further and can just gets better. I tweeted it today. When she's shooting the mid range, I automatically think it's going in. Like, I literally never think that she's going to miss. That's how automatic her mid range is. She has impeccable footwork. She has great touch around the glass. She has great hands. She can catch well because she's on the receiving end most times of the point guard. So, and it's no telling what kind of passes Chelsea Gray won't give you. She'll give you one where she's not looking out of bounds and no look behind the back. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be ready at all times. And I think that's an underrated skill for a lot of bigs. A'ja has great hands for a big. And lastly, she, like you said, she's averaging 27 points per game. And if she keeps up at this pace, she'll go down as the best. She'll have like the most points in the not the most points, but like the most point average per game in the history of the WNBA. So these are our 5 bucket getters right now, currently.
For me,
it's different
because everything y'all said, I agree with pretty much everything y'all said. But for me, when I be talking about like bucket getters, like of course they can just go get you a bucket, but all 5 of them, they got this thing in their DNA. They don't give a fuck who's on the other side. Like they just
dogs. You can say it. They dogs.
They there to kill whoever you put in front of them. They gonna kill them.
They're some killers. They are some dogs. Like, oh my god, like they just. I get it. I get what Nick was saying. Like we was talking in the group chat. Like everybody don't like putting like a big in there. But listen, we were not gonna have a list and not have she's 28 a game. That's damn near 30 points. Like I don't know. That's a bucket getter for a big. That's just dominating like that, and she just not scoring with her back to the basket. But them other 4 ladies, man, look, Sue Bird was just talking in a video talking about how Kennedy was killing them when she was in college when it was against Olympic team.
They really put Sue old ass on Kennedy's crazy.
Sue was like, nuts, bro. Like she was killing them though, like. And then these girls like I know a lot of people haven't really been watching these young ladies. I'm sure you watched A'ja. You probably watched Kennedy because she owned the sky. But listen, do yourself a favor and watch Arike and Jewell and is it Kahleah or Kahleah?
Kahleah.
It's Kahleah. Check them out. They can hoop. I'm talking about they have skill. They got that wiggle. They got the ball on the string.
Yeah.
Like it's fun. And then they got that look in their face when they get on a roll. Like, we're not used to women doing that shit all the time. It might be a few of them here and there, but it's a list of 5 women. We can probably find more that got that look on their face like, I'm about to kill your ass.
Ka is a dog, man. I'm thinking about her right now. Ka, whoever in front of her, she's going to kill you.
She's going to her Birkin, for sure.
Listen, get out her way. She's going to, and then they can go off at any time. It don't matter. And these 2, like players like this, you could take their ass to the YMCA. You take them to the church league. You could take them to Rutgers. You could take them back to a organized hoop. You could take them anywhere. They don't give a fuck who it is.
And if you think about it, every single person on this list can drop 30 any given night.
Literally.
Drop 30.
Any given night. And listen, and who cares? Especially Jewell and Arike. Who cares if they miss their first 10? And that second half? What's the second All-Star game?
Yeah, Arike, yeah.
Like, that's what they do. So do yourself a favor and go check these ladies out if y'all had never watched them before. The season's about to start back up. These are, and then like I said, there's no particular order. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is who we feel.
I think it's important that you said that though, Jay, because I think especially when we have men that maybe are just coming to watch the WNBA because they're like, some people say it's nothing else to watch in the summer. I want to watch basketball. So now more people are migrating to watch the WNBA. I think if you watch these 5 players, like if you don't have a specific team, watch these 5 players, and I guarantee you'll be a fan of the WNBA. Because when
Guaranteed.
people saw Arike going off at the All-Star game, they were like, well, the WNBA needs to market her more. And it's like, bro, she's been doing this. Y'all just haven't been watching. Like, I retweeted, I think the guy's name is Famous Lowe's or something like that. And he was like, man, they need to show her, like, doing this more.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, dude, she been doing this since Notre Dame. This isn't new. Y'all just have not been watching. So I think for people that are, like, novice and, like, newer fans of the WNBA, watch these 5 women. Pick one. It doesn't have to even be all
Pick
5.
one.
Watch one of them. I guarantee you'll be a fan of the WNBA after you watch them. Like, these women can hoop.
And I will say, I don't know, I think it's still this price, but even going to get the W League Pass.
I was just going to say that. League Pass is $34.99.
Was it $30?
$34.99. And it's for the whole season.
Listen, you're gonna spend that $34 on something that's probably not good for your body.
You're probably going to spend on some liquor, on whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Like, 34, and you can go watch old games. You can go watch stuff. It's easy. It's one-time fee. You're not paying a monthly thing. I mean, you could, but why? It's $34.
Right.
It's $34 is easy. It's easy to go check these ladies out. I mean, if you got Amazon Prime, you can go watch them, even though Amazon. Can we get the cameras y'all gave to Kendrick? Because
facts. Or even for the Thursday night football games, it looked better. It looked like, I don't know why it looked so choppy when the WNBA played, but okay.
So choppy. We had
Kendrick.
We watched a whole Kendrick concert with no lag.
Right.
Nasty word.
They had no lag.
Yeah,
I understand that word. Thursday night football. I understand. So get that shit together. We got people who want to watch this shit, but check these ladies out. I think this was a great list. I'm pretty sure we got more lists coming. Like,
hang on, real quick. Let me ask Lo this real quick because she's been very critical of Jewell this year, and I mean we both agree Jewell hasn't really been at her best this year. But
no,
why do you think that is from your perspective?
I think it's because she's playing with more talent this year. To be honest, I think that they gave her the keys and said, "This is your team," but I don't think that that's how she's playing. I think she sometimes is taking a backseat to if Nneka's having a good game, like, you know, she's not as aggressive as I would like her to be. I think when her shot's not falling either, she doesn't affect the game in many other ways. Whereas even, let's say, people want to hate this comparison. I'm not saying that they're the same type of player, but even if you look at Caitlin Clark, when her shot's not falling, she's doing other things. She's rebounding the ball. She's passing the ball. When Jewell's shot isn't falling, she's not doing those other things. She's not going to the basket to get an easy layup to see the ball go through. Like, she's just shooting, and shoot. Like, I get that. That's why I don't know if it's like more of a mental thing. I don't think she's physically hurt, but I mean, I don't know. Does somebody have a good sports psychologist? Something like, I really just don't know. It's weird because the shots that she's taking, they're not bad shots, and the shots that she hits, you know, and it looks good coming off her hands. It's not like it's short. It's just like she just flat out missing. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how she looks in the second half. She's had a few decent games and hit a few big shots during the Olympic break. So maybe she just needed a break, and she's going to come back and turn it up in the second half because I think a lot of people are asleep on the Storm in general. And I think that they're going to be waking up soon when the second half starts.
That was a good question. That is a good one because, like, is it because she got more talent? Because she would be missing shit
year,
like.
She was averaging, 25 points a game, something like that?
Yeah.
She led the league in scoring last year, yeah.
You could shoot it 30 times because they were trash. Like, they were they weren't good at all. They weren't even in playoff contention. So, I don't know. Maybe she's putting too much pressure on herself. Maybe she's, like, hearing the super team talk. I really don't know. But I think it has to be more mental. It doesn't look like it's something physical.
Yeah, it looks mental for sure.
I guess it is a different situation compared to what she was years back when she was playing next to Stewie and Sue. You know, so she was pretty much like the second, third option. So she didn't have that pressure on her. Now she's in a situation where she's playing with an older Nneka and older Skylar, and they're looking to her to be the top scoring option. So maybe it is a different situation that, you know, maybe she's still trying to get accustomed to.
And I think that
she was playing with them.
Yeah, I've been very harsh on her too because, like, in the grand scheme of things, they play maybe 20 games. Like, that's a short period of time for 3 potential Hall of Famers to kind of come together and make it work. So I've been overly critical, but the thing is, I know what Jewell Loyd is capable of. Like you said, Nick, I think she's one of the best scorers. She'll go down as one of the best scorers in WNBA history. But right now, that's not what I'm seeing from her. But we still have a lot of season left. So the jury's still out. We'll see. She'll probably shut me up, and I'll be coming on here apologizing.
The break probably gonna help her.
Right, I think so. It's not a break for her, but I think it will help.
She's playing right now.
Yeah.
Right, it's not a break.
Yeah,
but she don't
so
got to carry as much of that burden right now. Like they're not really looking at her to carry a lot. They're looking at the people that's carrying the most right now is Asia and Stewie.
And that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't realize, like anything with sports, when like we see it all the time, like, man, if he get his own team or she get her own team, that shit different when they game planning for you.
Yep.
That
Absolutely.
shit different because now you gotta change your whole game. You gotta like wait for your game to come to you. You gotta like feel the game out. You just can't go out there. When you third option, 9 times out of 10, you just go out there to score.
Yeah.
They really ain't looking for you to do nothing else. So now, that was a good question, nigga. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, but we've seen it before. When you go from being, like you said, the third or whatever option to the first is different when they're game planning for you. Look at Jordan Poole, how he used to play with the Warriors. He was out there getting buckets, and then when he went to the Wizards, he's literally like airballing layups. I'm like, what is going on? You know? Or you can look at you can honestly look at a lot. Look at Jeremy Lin when he had that Lin Sanity phase, right? And then when they started to game plan for him the next year, he was trash. Like, so you know,
remember that playoff series against the Heat? Like LeBron and Wade, they was locking his ass down.
Making sure he wasn't scoring that. So when they game plan for you specifically, it's levels. It looks a little different. Yeah, it looks a little different. So yeah,
it's hard to be a number one. Everybody can't do that shit. But man, y'all got anything else before we get up out of here? I know Lil getting sleepy probably. She keep.
I definitely took the melatonin like 5 minutes ago.
Hey,
I'm good though.
Melatonin before you record is insane.
You said what?
Taking that melatonin before you record is crazy.
No, I took it 5 minutes ago.
Like while we're in the middle of the episode.
So that was that was. I thought she popping gum and shit. I didn't know what the
that was melatonin. But listen, shout out to them because we about to try to get a melatonin sponsor. So
facts.
We are.
Best Buy's out the picture because Lo pretty much dissed him last episode. I'm just playing.
I was not job shaming. Listen, we all start somewhere.
You was job shaming. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Not. All I'm saying is if you got a regular 9 to 5 like me, you shouldn't be arguing with a Hall of Famer telling her anything about about her basketball career. Okay?
Hey y'all.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen. A lot of y'all listening right now don't be going to All-Star weekends and going to the White House and going to the draft. So she not do it ain't just no regular 9 to 5. Okay?
That's not my 9 to 5.
That's a side hustle.
Listen, she still doing other things. Don't let her fool y'all. But man, I'm glad we was able to bring y'all this episode.
Real quick before we log off, I just want to say I gave Elle Duncan a hard time last episode and on Twitter, and I'm going to always continue to call out people as I see fit. But I do appreciate her coming back out with a new apology, and she actually had a video recording because I always say, make your apology as loud as the insult. Make your apology as loud as the criticism. And so the tweet she sent out was not sufficient for me. Like, I appreciate you taking accountability. And it's not even for me, but just the general mass. Like, when you know the friction between the two fan bases, and as a Black woman, for you to bring that to the doorstep of another Black woman, that's something I can't respect, period. Right? And so for her to go back and apologize on video, I appreciate that and I respect that. I'm glad
you said it because I didn't know she did it on video because I
didn't know that either.
That was my thing because you did
the good things don't get as amplified as the hate. That's why. So that shows you the problem right there. Like, it's been on the timeline for at least 2 days now, and y'all didn't see it.
That. Now y'all go see it because I was so mad because you did a video. Was you on your show talking first? Real quick, the thing that pisses me about media and journalism now across the board is the fact that she even admitted that her producer gave her information that she didn't check. She at least admitted it and she got this apology out. But you know how many people probably do this? There's one,
a lot of people,
a big ass platform.
It's so irresponsible.
It's me going, here, Lo. This is what they said. They said Michael Jordan did this. You can go in there and look like a damn asshole.
Right.
But the thing, like, they're not watching games. I mean, they do it all the time. I'm sure people on ESPN doing it, Fox, all of them. Like, they're not watching games. They're just going off of stat sheets that are given to them, and then that's what they're basing their analysis off of.
And the fact that she even admitted that shit was that's crazy that she admitted that, and that big of her to even to say like, listen, this is my fault. I didn't even go behind it. But when we get off, I'm gonna go look at this video because I'm with you. When you
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you on the group chat. But yeah,
if you disrespectful with a video, I need a video apology.
Right.
Because it's already done now. You got a big ass platform. You on ESPN. You just saying all type of shit on your platform. Like, come on, man. But I'm with you. That shit was some bullshit because like it's just the animosity between these two, between her and that fan base. Like,
right. You know the kind of hate that was going to come to her from it. Like, whether it's true or not, so if you have Cheryl's number, that means y'all have some type of relationship where you should say, even if you saw this, hey, I'm not reporting on this before I talk to Cheryl about it. Like, because the hatred that is going to come her way, the bigotry, like, all the things that are going to come her way. So let me check with my friend, even if it's not your friend, let me check with my associate and just make sure, like, I got my facts straight. Like, it takes 2 seconds, bro. Or even give her a heads up. Hey, I'm going to talk about this on the show today. Like, did this happen? Whatever the case may be, like, it's just a little step further than she went, basically. And so I appreciate the apology.
I'm not saying she's not busy. We're busy, but she probably a lot more busy than us. But if we can find time, do a little bit of fact check, we all got a phone. It's quick, easy, something. And the fact that you got her number is even worse.
And so that's what she said. She said that she's been just ad-libbing a lot in life right now. Y'all will see it in the video, but she was just saying that she's been moving at a fast pace, and she knew at one point in time something was going to happen. Pretty much like an accident was going to happen, and it just happened to be this. But my thing is, it's irresponsible when it's something as big as this. Like, how Caitlin Clark fans are. So when it comes to her, you can't just look at clips. You have to watch the full episode of whatever it is when it comes to her. Now, if you want to watch clips of other things and other players that don't have that much motion behind them and don't have that fan base with so much vitriol, then cool, right? But like, you cannot do that with Caitlin Clark and her fans, because let's be clear. And I'm not saying this about all her fans, but a lot of her fans have very racial motives, right? Their hatred is based in a foundation of racism, systematic racism, right? And so when you're putting that at Cheryl Swoop's doorstep as one of the legends of this game, like, you owe her a little bit more respect to do your due diligence before you bring that to her front door. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely.
As someone who's a victim of all the Caitlin Clark shit, I can agree with that.
Oh man, that was a great way to end episode 2. I'm glad that we was able to get this episode in after last night technical difficulties, but we made it. We ain't gonna never leave y'all astray, man. We're never gonna do that to y'all. But man, that's Nick. That's Lo. I'm Jay. We out of here. Peace.